Yo, what up, Soul fam? Welcome to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul. I am Max Soul.
And I'm Mello Soul. Together we are Soul of the New Vibe.
Woohoo!
And on this podcast, we dive deep into the foundations of the music that moves us, showing you how the legends, the innovators, the true architects of soul music still shape the sound we're creating today.
Oh, absolutely, Mel. Absolutely. This just isn't a history lesson, right? And especially for us, because we absolutely love this subject. This ongoing adult education for us, if you can call us adults. But we're constantly pulling lessons from artistry, the hustle, and the vision of these giants to inform every note and every decision behind what we do as Soul in the New Vibe.
That's right, Max. And today we're kicking things off with a true titan, a man whose fingerprints are all over the very DNA of soul music, a man whose blueprint for artistry and business we're still studying. The one, the only, Smokey Robinson.
That was a badass motherfucker.
And his impact is absolutely immeasurable.
100%. From his prolific songwriting to his executive leadership and even defining an entire sound. And let's face it, who didn't grow up with the Quiet Storm? I know I did. Smokey didn't just participate in that movement. He was a driving force. It was named after him in reality. Right? It came out of D.C. And well,
we'll
you know
get
what?
into that.
That's exactly right. Stick with us, right? Because we're about to break down exactly why his legacy is so crucial for understanding where soul is headed next and how that inspires our own journey as soul. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul and our deep dive into the Smokey Robinson blueprint. Before the break, we talked about his overall impact, but honestly, where do you even start with a man like that, Max?
Oh, yeah, right? Well, I'll tell you where you start, Mel. You got to start with the pen, right? Smokey Robinson wasn't just a singer. He was a prolific songwriter, and I mean prolific, often called America's greatest living poet by none other than who?
Bob Dylan.
You know, go figure, right? Now, that's some heavyweight endorsement, and it's no exaggeration.
Mr. Poetry Pulitzer himself.
Oh, my God, yes. But he did. He was a phenomenal writer.
Yeah, he penned over 4,000 songs, Max. 4,000.
That's a lot.
That's not just quantity. It's a testament to his consistent creativity and ability to tap into universal emotions. He gave us relatable narratives, a unique romanticism that made soul music just feel different.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But think about this, 4,000 songs is a lot of songs. And I'm not saying that all 4,000 were amazing, but you got to know that at least 75% of those songs were big hits. That's a pretty big statement. I mean, that's usual. And it wasn't just for the miracles. While Shop Around, one of my childhood songs, which I absolutely loved when I was 9, right? Motown's first million seller and Tracks of My Tears, well, they're classics for his own group, which was the Miracles. But he was writing for everybody. My Girl for the Temptations, My Guy for Mary Wells, Ain't That Peculiar for Marvin. These aren't just great songs. They're foundational pillars of the Motown catalog.
And Max, that's the genius of his songwriting and a huge lesson for a Soul of the New Vibe for us. It wasn't about a specific vocal style. It was about the song itself, the structure, the melody, the lyrics. They were so perfectly crafted that they could be sung by anyone and still hit you right in the chest.
Right in the chest.
For us, it's about the song being able to stand on its own beyond the production.
Exactly, Mel. It's about building a solid foundation. That commercial appeal without losing the soulfulness that we strive for. I mean, this is what we do as a group, as writers, as musicians. How do we reach a wider audience without compromising our artistic integrity? Smokey showed us one path, and we'll show it to you. We'll be right back. Thanks for tuning into Architects of Soul. Our music is waiting for you. Welcome back to Max and Mello's Architects of Soul and our deep dive into the Smokey Robinson blueprint. His songwriting was unparalleled, but his influence didn't stop there, did it, Mel?
No, not at all, Max. In fact, his impact extended deep into the business side of Motown. For nearly 3 decades, Smokey served as the vice president of Motown Records. Think about that.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, think about the longevity and influence behind the scenes. He wasn't just a hit maker; he was a talent scout, a developer, a core part of the executive team. He was like an A&R genius.
Not only a great songwriter, but he was brilliant in his business acumen.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, here's this string that we keep singing, right, of these guys
The theme.
who just believed in themselves and they knew that they were right and they weren't going to let anybody get in their way. And boy, what a big difference that was. It reminds us that being an artist, Tay, isn't just about the art itself. It's about understanding the industry, the business, the strategy. Smokey was doing it all even back then. He was truly a pioneer in demonstrating that you could be an incredibly creative force and a shrewd business mind. Well, that's a big takeaway for you and me as Soul in the New
It
Life,
sure
right?
is. Yes, exactly. And speaking of creative forces, we can't talk about Smokey without talking about The Quiet Storm.
Oh, yeah.
There's this 1975 album called A Quiet Storm. It wasn't just a great record. It literally became a stylistic landmark that spawned an entire R&B radio format.
I lived for that. You know, when I was at the Apollo, Vaughn Harper, who did The Quiet Storm for New York on WBLS, I used to talk to Vaughn all the time, and he listened to my music, and he was a very big proponent in me continuing, and a real reason why I stayed in soul music and didn't try to be, you know, what everybody else thought you should be
doing.
I wanted to do what I loved the most. And having someone behind your back like that, it's just an amazing thing, right? So it's beyond influence. It's creating a new lane. The Quiet Storm sound with its smoother, more mellow arrangements and sophisticated productions showed that soul music wasn't static. No, it was not static. Hell no. It could evolve. And for us, as Soul in the New Vibe, what a takeaway. We're not trying to just replicate what was done before. We have no interest in that. We're taking those foundational elements and we're pushing strong songwriting, the emotional depth, and the quality production from the lessons that we learned, and then asking, now how do we push this forward? How do we create our new vibe that resonates today and potentially defines a sound for tomorrow? Well, that's just food for thought, right? We'll be right back.
All right, we're back on Max and Mello's Architects of Soul, continuing our deep dive into the Smokey Robinson blueprint. We've talked about Smokey, the songwriter, the executive, the innovator, but let's talk about the enduring echoes of his work in today's music.
Truly, the influence is undeniable and stretches far beyond soul. Think about this. The Beatles famously recorded and covered You Really Got a Hold on Me, which, hey, who wrote that? Smokey. And I think about that. One of the biggest bands in history covering a Miracles track. Not to say that the Beatles didn't start out as a cover band, because
They did, but
every band starts out as a cover band, right? But when they did that song, they weren't a cover band anymore.
Right.
They were the Beatles. You think about that, right? And it continued through generations. Michael Jackson, the Stones, countless contemporary hip-hop artists sampling his work. Smokey's melodies and lyrics are timeless. They transcend genres and they transcend eras.
You know, some of the best Smokey remakes, some of my favorite Smokey songs are remakes, like the Jackson 5's remake of Who's Loving You on their first
so good.
album, and also Kim Carnes' version of More Love. I just really love that. His songs really can translate in all sorts of different ways. It's a powerful lesson in longevity and impact. For Soul in the New Vibe, we're not just aiming for a quick hit.
No, because that's not the purpose of our game, is it?
No. We're studying these architects because we want to create music that has that kind of staying power.
Right.
Music that can be sampled by a hip hop artist like 50 years from now, or covered by a rock band.
Yeah, we want you to come back for more. That's really what it comes down to. Music is so important. It makes you breathe. It makes you feel. It makes you live, right? And so when you resonate with someone and another artist hears that and then they say, I'm going to make something out of that same tune, the resonation is incredible. And that's why we're doing this.
Yeah.
So it does come back to the core of the principle of strong songwriting. That, I think that's been our big statement about songwriting, because that's really why we started doing what we did. It all started with songwriting.
Yeah.
So if the song is solid, if the emotion is true, it will find its audience. It will find its audience and endure. We believe that. We truly believe that. It's about being authentic and technically proficient. It's also being genuine. That's where the new vibe comes in for us. We're steeped in that classic soul tradition. The lush harmonies, the heartfelt lyrics, the grooves that make you move. That's where we come from.
But we're also incorporating modern production techniques, contemporary storytelling, and collaborations with artists from different genres. We're taking that blueprint that Smokey helped to create,
Right,
and adding our own contemporary architectural elements.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's easy for me to say.
Well, again, this is that whole thing about having a conversation with yesterday from today, and that's what we want. Our peers are doing similar things also.
Yeah,
they're pushing the boundaries. What?
No, I was just about to say it's about respecting the past and learning from those giants, and then finding our own voice within that rich tapestry.
Well, there's so much of that tapestry for us to learn how to weave from. Yeah,
yeah.
And that's the most amazing thing. So, as I was saying, our peers are doing similar things too, and they are pushing the boundaries and creating exciting and new fusions. It's really a vibrant time for soul music right now, really vibrant time for soul music right now. And it's all a testament to strong foundations laid by artists like Smokey Robinson, who showed us that soul is a living, breathing, evolving thing. And that, to me, is the key. The song.
It always comes back to the song.
It does,
Yeah.
because a good song is a good song. It's a good song.
It's a good song.
You can change the arrangement all you want. It's only 12 tones in Western music, so
Exactly.
you can only play them a certain
But
any way you
rearrange
want.
them all different ways.
Exactly.
And then you got a whole other song.
The song has to resonate. The lyric has to feel. You have to feel it. You have to make that emotion happen, and that's the gift Smokey was so amazing at. And we will continue this when we get back from this next break.
And we're back for the final segment of Max and Mello's Architects of Soul. What a journey it's been, digging into the Smokey Robinson blueprint and seeing how it directly shapes our sound.
Oh, unreal. Absolutely, Mello. From his poetic songwriting to his executive prowess at Motown, and even pioneering an entire sound with The Quiet Storm, which I absolutely will never stop saying how much I love. Smokey's influence is truly foundational. He didn't just sing the songs. No. He built the infrastructure for soul music's widespread appeal, and he sang the songs.
That's right. And for us as Soul of the New Vibe, his journey is a constant reminder of the multifaceted nature of artistry today. It's not just about what happens in the studio.
Oh, no.
It's about understanding the craft, the business, and the continuous evolution of the sound.
Hell yes. We take these lessons so seriously. The emphasis on strong melodies, heartfelt lyrics, and the courage to innovate. And then we infuse them into every track we create. It's about honoring the past while pushing the music forward, alongside our incredible peers who are also reshaping the next chapter of soul, which to me, is a great call, a clarion call, because this music needs and deserves to be out there.
That's right. So thank you for joining us on Max and Mello's Architects of Soul. We hope you gained some insights and renewed appreciation for the giants who paved the way. And remember this, fam.
Yep, keep that soul fire burning. Protect your sound, nurture your creativity. Own your voice, and remember the lessons from the giants who came before. And yes, protect your masters and seek out wise mentors who can guide you on your journey. And until next we meet, peace and soul, y'all.